Istanbul, Turkey's largest metropole, is one of the 33 cities with the highest earthquake risk in the world. A disaster in Istanbul, the city which produces more than 40% of GDP, has the potential to affect the whole country in terms of economy. Istanbul has been preparing since 2006 with ISMEP against all disasters, particularly earthquakes. ISMEP, the Istanbul Seismic Risk Mitigation and Emergency Preparedness Project, is run by the Istanbul Project Coordination Unit under the governorship of Istanbul. ISMEP implements under three components the supportive and preventive actions for the preparation, mitigation, response and recovery activities required for the phases before, during and after the disaster. Studies that will be of vital importance in the event of a disaster are conducted under the Emergency Preparedness Capacity Building component. Communication turns into a life-saving function in earthquakes and natural disasters. This being borne in mind, within the scope of ISMEP, the infrastructure has been prepared which is required for the continuous communication of the first responders to disasters, particularly Istanbul Afad, in emergencies. For the first time in Turkey, a province-wide digital wide-area radio system has been installed. Thus, entire Istanbul has been covered in order to ensure an uninterrupted communication in the event of a disaster. Public institutions have been provided with radio systems to ensure continuous communication in the event of a disaster without the need for any other communication system. Camera systems have been installed to monitor the disaster area from Istanbul Afad Command, Control and Coordination Centers. 4x4 all-terrain communication vehicles, capable of mobility even in difficult terrain conditions, have been supplied for Istanbul Afad. The Disaster FM has gone live, which has been created within Istanbul Afad in order that all Istanbulites can access first-hand, up-to-date and accurate information uninterruptedly through conventional FM radio broadcasts. The Istanbul Governorship, Provincial Disaster and Emergency Directorate Command, Control and Coordination Centers have been established, and information flow and management between Istanbul Afad and other institutions made smoother and safer. The Command, Control and Coordination Centers established for the management of disasters on both sides of Istanbul have been designed to work in an integrated way. The Disaster Management Information System software has been developed for Istanbul Afad, which will enable all public institutions to act jointly. In order to build the institutional capacity of Istanbul Afad, two command, control and coordination centers have been built on both sides of Istanbul for the uninterrupted management of disaster. The Istanbul Afad Disaster Training Center has been built and put into service, where hands-on training can be carried out for professional search and rescue teams, experts, adults, and students. The Istanbul Disaster Response Plan, covering 15 million Istanbulites, has been created. In order to prepare Istanbul for possible disasters in the best way possible, works have been carried out to maximize the existing capacities of the public institutions and organizations which perform the first response in disasters and emergencies. In such context, a great number of technical tools and equipment have been supplied for the first responders in disasters. 13 prefabricated 112 stations have been constructed for the Istanbul Provincial Health Directorate 112 Emergency Health Services. Thanks to the capacity building activities of the National Medical Rescue Team, ÜMKE, and the Istanbul Afad Research and Rescue Association, it has started to provide services at international standards and received the United Nations INSARAG certificate. Setting out with the slogan of a safe city, of a safe life, IPCU has touched the lives of 7 million Istanbulites to date. It reached approximately 1.6 million people through trainings. 265,134 Istanbulites have become Safe Life volunteers. Education modules for adults and children have been prepared. 6 million educational materials have been shared with the people of Istanbul. Disaster and emergency plans were prepared for 39 pilot schools, which were reconstructed or retrofitted within the scope of ISMEP. An evacuation method and a series of communication chains have been created and announced to all parents, teachers, students, administrative staff, and employees. ISMEP, implemented by IPCU, is one of the most successful examples of the approach to take precautions before a disaster occurs. ISMEP, which has been awarded many national and international awards so far, has become the first project in our country to receive the highly satisfactory rating, with the closing and final report prepared by the World Bank. With its innovative and participatory approaches which respect people and nature, IPCU keeps strengthening the future of Istanbul and Istanbulites.